Hello everyone, this is a one-off video regarding the refurbishment of a Carrera Subway Mark II. I bought it out of Halfords, must be more than 5 years ago now, and as you can see I've currently got it in the living room / workshop. As you can see, I'm a rip-rap builder, TV fixer destroyer, and cyclist or bike restorer, among other things. Right, so I've been wanting to get back to the cycling. To lose some weight. I've been putting the beef on as I've been out of work for a few months now, and I've got a trainer home from eBay, but the gears were slipping. So I thought, oh god, what's that? Is something just dirty and all gunked up and seizing? Well, that was partially the problem, but the actual fault was that the what they call the cassette and the sprockets on the front. Fuck's sake, what's that called? That's going to bother me. 1 second, folks. I just need to look that up. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, the term I was trying to remember there was chain rings. Okay. Now, I'm not any cyclist fanatic, and I don't wear fucking leotards or any of that crap. And I do enjoy cycling as well. It gets a bit of fresh air about you and whatnot. Anyway, so I can't remember what I paid for the bike. It was about $280 mark, I think. And then with the mud guards and the lock chain thing and the pump, bits and pieces like that. The mud guards didn't come as standard. That's mud guard on there on the floor. That would either bolt at the back of the front wheel or actually on the subframe arm there. Yeah. So that cost me a 20 or 30 quid extra, and I think I went for a different seat or something as well than the standard one. So it was about the £300 mark all in. So it was, to my mind anyway, that was a reasonable push bike, a reasonable amount it'll spend on my bike. It comes with disc brakes, both front and rear, but obviously the rear wheel's off it at the moment. It's lying through the house. So I didn't want to just consign it to the skip, because £300 is still a significant amount of money, even today. And I certainly couldn't afford £350 to £450 to replace it currently. I've got other commitments. Now, so I thought, how much is this going to cost me? I thought, the cassette on the back, I had no idea how much that was going to cost. The chain rings on the front, didn't know how much they were going to cost. And I ride push bikes. I don't spend a lot of time working on them or maintaining them. I fire a bit of oil on the chain occasionally. That's about all I do to them. And to my not horror, but I'm quite shocked to find that the parts for push bikes nowadays is extortionate. and this is why I'm making the video. I've got the chain rings that I've taken off sitting here. Now, I don't know how clear that will be, but you can see that the sprocket is quite badly worn. The teeth are still mostly there, but they are starting to bend over. Now this is what they call the inner chain ring. This is the smaller of the two that is fitted to this assembly. So you know, the teeth on this one are mostly whole. There's one there that's particularly bad, I think. You know, none of them are great. They're all pretty badly worn. You know, bent out of shape. You got quite they've got sort of burrs on them, and the shape of the tooth profile is all wrong. So that was a small one, and this is the larger of the two. And you can see here, you know, those two teeth are completely gone almost. Now, an interesting point to note is that those two teeth there are gone, and if you go 180 degrees across, these two here are gone. So that is almost a straight line between those two. Whether or not that is a manufacturing defect or a symptom of the way the gear chain or the gear train operates, I don't know. But the fact that they're 180 degrees apart is suspicious to my mind. Now, having looked at the teeth in here, again, some of the teeth are not too bad. You've got a straight point with a little flat on the top. You know, there's a few of them like that. And then you got ones that are completely gone, like I mentioned earlier, and others that are just, you know, they're it's a mixed bunch, But the chain was slipping. You know, I nearly bust my balls on the handlebars when it slipped when I was pulling away from the supermarket. So I don't know about you folks, but what do you say that's worth? It's a bit of steel plate, either punched out or burnt out with a laser, and then put in a press. I imagine they're pumping these out one every minute. I don't think there's any, you know, if you had to make that by hand, there'd be a significant amount of work in it, but that's made on CNC laser cutters and presses, just to get the profile that's required, you know, just so you get a bit of clearance between the teeth and the rest of the other parts that bolt on here. So I don't think that's worth a lot of money. I'd say a tenner. That's worth a tenner, right? Can you get one for a tenner? No. For the larger of the two, I would say the minimum you could find that for on eBay. I didn't spend a whole lot of time looking, but not eBay, but online rather. I didn't spend a whole lot of time looking, but I'd say the minimum you'd find it for is 20 quid. And be warned, it wouldn't have been made of steel, It would be made of aluminium. Yes, you heard me right, folks, aluminium. They're now making sprockets out of aluminium. Now there's absolutely no weight in that, It's a little bit of fucking steel plate, There's nothing to it. And in their, I don't know, drive to find a lighter alternative, they've started using aluminium for the sprockets. Now they're touted or advertised as being aircraft grade aluminium alloy that is super strong and super light. Okay, Well, I have the greatest respect for aluminium, yeah? Aluminium is a material that has specific properties which are useful for a lot of applications. It's lightweight, it's relatively strong, and has a lot of uses in modern society. However, I would suggest that aluminium is better suited for structural components, i.e. frames, handlebars, or items like that. Items which are not specifically meshing and applying force to other parts, because aluminium, even in its aircraft grade form, is still a fairly ductile material. Yeah. Now I can't quite remember all the terminology from my college course, okay, but you've got tough materials, and there's a lot of different terminology. Tough is not necessarily strong, right? But if you hit aluminium with a hammer, it will deform, okay? Because while it is because it is ductile, yeah. This is why aluminium is so useful. They can extrude it through dies to make it into a lot of different shapes, and it's readily pressed as well, yeah. So aluminium teeth pushing on a chain, which is then driving the bike's weight and your weight forward, it's not a good choice, yeah. Now, it depends on your point of view, of course. It's a very good choice if you're wanting to sell chain rings. What happens? They last a couple of years out, and once the 2 years is up, any sort of warranty claim is gone, and you've got to buy a new one. Another £25. Aluminium is very easy to machine and even easier to press. I don't know what technology they used to make this. I would have assumed it would have been a laser cutter, or could be a big punch, just a pattern made and then it's punched out. So aluminium is going to be even easier to punch than steel, so they've got less tool wear in the factory. But yet they're wanting a premium price for it, because they're hyping it up to be in this lightweight exotic material. And aluminium, just so you all know, is the most common, well, one of the most common materials on the planet. I think iron is the most common in the Earth's crust, and aluminium is either second or third. It is just, it's everywhere, yeah. So that really irritated me, yeah. It really did irritate me that that the bicycle industry is basically ripping off the consumer once more. However, I did find a cycle shop in Ireland. I think they're called chainreactioncycles.com, okay? And they were pretty good to me. I got what they call the, well, I don't know what it's actually called, but I got the entire assembly of chain rings, including the pedal arms, if you want to call them that. Basically the arms that extend from your hub down to your pedal. So I got both arms plus 3 chain rings for 20 quid. Now that can't be beat. I couldn't find a better price anywhere, and that's new, eh? However, they were also trying to sell me parts at 40 and 50 and 60 quid which I don't require and I don't need, and which to me don't appear to be very durable because they also were aluminium. I do have a little point to make about the new parts I got. Perhaps somebody can comment or enlighten me as to why they make these chain rings like this. Now, this is a brand new part, okay? And if you can see there, the teeth seem to be, well, relatively uniform. But I say relatively. If you look very closely, I don't know how good this is showing up in the camera. The angle, I can't point to it with my finger, but the angle on the tip of the tooth, that face or facet has a different surface area on different teeth. Okay? So these parts are either not machined or produced in a uniform manner, or they've been designed this way. And I don't fully understand the how would you call it, all the principles of drive chains, but some of these teeth here, that one there in particular, look how pointy that is. I would suggest to you that that would wear rather quickly. You know, that tooth there in the middle of the field of view at the moment is much narrower and pointier than these teeth up here. Why is that, folks? Why is that? Is it just so that I'm going to have to buy a new one in a few years' time? Now, the inner mechanism here, the inner sprocket, I don't see why they've got to change the terminology either. It's called a sprocket. It's not called a chain ring. It seems to be fairly robust and all of a uniform size, the teeth. But you move out to the second tooth, a second ring rather, or second sprocket, and look at that one right there. It just comes to a point. There's no flat surface at the end of that tooth. It's just a point. So that's a weak part. Now, it seems to be every second or third one. That one's pointed. These two are flat. That one's pointed. Flat, well, flat, pointed, flat, 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 flat. There's a pointed one there. Flat, flat, pointed, flat, flat, point, flat, 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 3, 4, you know, so it's not even a uniform number of teeth on the circumference that before you get a pointed tooth. So I'll look it up on the web to see if I can find information regarding that, you know, but that might be quite a niche subject and quite hard to track down. I would say that that one's possibly aluminium, That one's steel, but I think this one's aluminium. I don't know either. So yeah, I got that set for 20 quid, which I thought was reasonable. You know, I got that was including the arms. So that's a good price for a part for an old push bike. You know, let's face it, you know, it's a 300 quid push bike when it was new. If I went to sell it, I'd struggle to get 100 quid for it, You know that as well as I do. Unless it's some exotic £2,000 job, you might get £500 or £600 for it then.